Hello everybody and welcome back to another video with me, Zion, VGC from California, and today we're going to be going over a fun little tier list ranking the Regulation G teams that have all won majors as a nice little send-off to the format. But I am not alone today. I have two very special guests with me today. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Francesco Galati, known as Juice VGC. I've been playing VGC for like 6 months, and my most notable finish is ninth at the Toronto Regionals.
Hey, hello, my name is Rashab Prem. My most notable finish and my only finish is 41st out of 41st of the Toronto Regional Championships. I
Yo,
went 0-3 drop.
Good.
Yeah, I go by Shiba online. I'll be lurking in Limitless Tours.
Alright. Glad to see. Alright, Francesco, you got control of the tier list. What is our first team for today?
So our first team is the Rajan Ball team from Indianapolis. This is the start of what many would consider the best restricted in Regulation G. This team was a very standard hyper offense team at the time, but you had your discharge Miraidon, and you had the whole team was basically built around supporting Miraidon. So if your Miraidon dropped, the team was kind of obsolete without it.
Kind of.
Yeah, it's basically it.
I love the good old discharge. Yeah, I think. Hey, are we ranking these on viability, or are we just having fun?
No, we're ranking these on fun.
Honestly, I think on viability, like, so if we were ranking this on viability, I think like team in general, I wouldn't say if you use this today, but like at the time, this was a great meta call because everyone was on like Terapagos and Zama.
Yeah.
Which are Miraidon's bread and butter. But like, I honestly think we should rank them based on just like how good of a team they were at the time, and how good they were at that format.
Yeah.
At the time, I feel as though this team was practically on top of the meta. I feel like it at least deserves an A tier. I don't think it should drop down to B.
Yeah, I think S is only for like a very special team that's gonna be later on.
Yeah, but of course we can't have a team as great as that without this incredible blueprint by Rajan Ball.
Yeah, this team really paved the way for all Miraidon teams, and it also paved the way for other teams in the format because you had to adapt, otherwise this team just steamrolled you.
Yes.
Yeah, and then yeah, I think A tier is a good spot for it because it was very good at the time, but like you could obviously have done some improvement. Like what isn't shown is Rajan went X2 in Swiss, and he was very close to being knocked out several times.
Indeed.
But yeah, this is a very iconic team.
Yeah. I think Discharge Miraidon is like genuinely hilarious. Like
Discharge Miraidon is so good.
Seeing the casters' reactions to Amoonguss is dead from a resist. Like
Zama takes 55% from Volt Switch. What? After Terra?
Yeah, and
yeah.
That was iconic.
Yeah, and then we have I think I have it pulled up here in detail. You have the Terra Electric Miraidon. You have the Terra Ground, Terra Blast, Farigiraf.
Oh, it's Terra Blast?
Yeah, it's Terra Ground, Terra Blast, Farigiraf.
Wow.
And, yeah, the Wims was obviously Focus Sash. It was kind of to pair with the Miraidon with Discharge, so you could take one Discharge with Wims and automatically live. And this team has a lot of synergy in general. Yeah, and this team is very similar to, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, Aaron Trailer's team, who got 8th. Just swapped Ditto with Corner Pump.
But yeah, the Scarf Ditto.
Yeah, the Scarf Ditto. Yeah, very influential team for the format. I think it deserves an A tier. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I think it definitely belongs there. Just all of the stuff that it did. Like, I think Regulation G was never the same with before the team. Yeah, no, it shook the whole meta up.
All right, so are we good to transition into the?
Yes.
Okay, so now we have the team that won Stockholm, which this team is definitely a team. This regional was won by Michael Derbest, aka Michael Kelsch. Yeah, this team is I'd say the start of what is widely known today as Zama balance or Zama hyper offense. But this team definitely has some quirks in it that like definitely has some quirks in it, like the choice band Rillaboom, the Rocky Helmet Pelipper.
Yeah,
Definitely a weirder team.
yeah. When I first saw this, I didn't believe half of the stuff on it. The Latios, Galarian, Moltres, both very surprising picks. I did not expect to see Banded Rillaboom of all things.
Oh no, never.
Banded
Yeah.
Rillaboom is Nike goated. I
The thing-
love that pick on Michael's part.
Okay, funny thing is, Michael Kelsch went X4.
Oh wow.
That's it. He went X4 and he still won the event.
What? Oh, that's
went
right.
X-
Because this was back when events were like a little bit longer.
Yeah, this is when events were longer and and Top Cut was based on an amount of players rather than a win threshold.
Yeah.
But yeah, this team definitely one of the weirder teams that came out of early Regulation G. It's definitely not. It's definitely not top tier because it didn't really shake up the meta that much. It honestly, this team was good in the European circuit, but when you took it to the NA circuit, you had to change it. Like this is where we got Michael Kelsch's Worlds team, which Michael Kelsch's Worlds team is a lot different than this. You kept some of the pieces. You kept the Chen Pao, the Rillaboom, and the Zamazenta, but you were forced to add other things because this team, really funnily, is very very weak to some specific comps.
Yeah. Especially.
I'm pretty sure Diego Aguirre's team from
Yeah,
Worlds also came
very
from this,
similar.
like the
Yeah.
T-Tar
It's a very
stuff,
similar
which is
team.
super cool.
No,
This
that
team is very similar.
yeah, the team is also like very unique. I love that team, but yeah, this team having Zama and Rillaboom being weak to Miraidon is extremely funny to me. But I think it still gets like a good B tier. It's very creative.
I think
Right,
it's either
like-
C or B tier.
I think B, very creative,
Yeah.
innovative. Like it didn't shake everything up, but like it for that tournament, it was absolutely the call, especially with a player like Michelle.
Yeah. Next up, we have Montana Mont and the first win at the first win of I think only one so far. Correct me if I'm wrong. First and only major win for CSR right now. I don't. Remember.
Actually, I believe CSR won. I don't know how to say this city. I think
Bologna?
yeah, Bologna.
Yeah, I won the Bologna, and I won Bologna in this, and then this team was. I think this is. You could say this is the birth of like teams like the James Beck team,
Yeah.
and
Just like the very
and this
standard
is very
CSR balance.
this is very standard balance, but this is Montana Matt took a different turn on this, where most Calyrex would run Terra Fairy Calm Mind with like Life Orb or Focus Sash or Cover Cloak. He went Spell Tag Nasty Paw to not have to rely on the Draining Kiss. But yeah, this team is very balanced. Is really all I can
It's
use to
super
describe.
balancy. I feel like most of the like annoying CSR balance teams which popped up around this time like sprouted from this.
Yeah, this is one of the first CSR like real CSR balance teams because most of them were hyper offense prior to this.
Indeed.
This team in general has some interesting techs. It's 6 very common Pokemon. You had Taunt and Sin, you had Taunt Tornadus.
I
And
find
then
that
you
very
had the whole
interesting.
CSR set as I was talking about. This team is interesting. I wouldn't say it was very spectacular. I didn't say it did pave the way for CSR builders in the future, which people like Marco Silva and Wolf Glick both did extremely well with a balancy type team at Worlds, and I could say all balance teams somewhat sprouted from this one.
Yeah, like basically every CSR balance that I can think of is very similar to this.
Yeah, you have your CSR balance core of where is it? Of Rillaboom's Incineroar, Urshifu Rapid Strike, and Calyrex, because you have the double fake out core, and then you have Urshifu for some damage.
Mm-hmm.
The last 2 slots are really no. Oh yeah.
I don't have much else to add, but I
Yeah.
think F tier. I hate CSR balance, but actually, I think like a solid A tier because like even after
It shaped the meta.
yeah,
It did, yeah.
even during Reg G2, unlike Rajan Ball's team, in Reg G2 that team comp like those exact 6
It's
still
common.
perform. Yeah.
All right, now we have North American Internationals with CSR, Balance slash Hyper Offense, and Patrick Connors, which this team is very similar to any CSR balanced team. CSR and CIR balanced teams were actually very similar in early Reg G1, or not early Reg G1, just Reg G1 in general, if I'm not mistaken. Because you had the same core.
Yeah, like I remember seeing this
team
stuff.
was iconic.
It
in the
was.
finals against Aurelian.
Yeah,
it was
one of the most
super
influential matches of the entire format.
Like you had Patrick Connors, this underdog, nobody had heard of him before, who like the only recognition you had of him was he was at the same local scene as Riley Fectura because he's from Florida.
Yeah.
And yeah, you had the start of really, arguably in my opinion, the most dominant one of the most dominant restricteds in Regulation G in Calyrex Ice, who I believe, as I'm recording this, or as we're recording this, is tied for the most wins at majors right now. With
I believe so.
Crydon.
Yeah. Yeah, Ice Rider and Maridon.
Or Crydon.
Crydon? No, Crydon's
Crydon.
only won 3 times.
You have Wolf, Daniel, Yu. Wait. Let me check this. I'm pretty sure it's.
All right. My deepest apologies about that, everyone. We are back with our results on how many regionals did Crydon actually win, and what's the tally?
Yeah, it has won 5 regionals. It has won 2 Latin American events, or yeah, 2 or 3. I think it was 3 Latin American events. UIC and Atlanta.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
As of today.
As of today, because Seville has not happened yet.
Yes. And then going over Patrick Connor's team.
Yeah.
The unique decisions on it. Terranova Rillaboom is something that I find very interesting, but it makes a lot of sense because this is when Calyrex started to become like a Pokemon, like Calyrex Shadow Rider, and Ice Rider is really bad into the Shadow Rider matchup usually. So
this was right after, like, segueing back into the Montana Mont team. This was right after LA. So, and usually Ice Rider balance teams don't have good matchups into Shadow Rider balance teams.
Yeah. So like the Terranova Rillaboom is a very nice bit of counterplay to that.
Obviously, yeah. And this team, it's unfortunate, like how most of the teams in Reg G1 were very standard, and there's nothing much to say about them because they're very standard. You have your Incineroar with no Flare Blitz because you have Pelipper and you don't want anti-synergy. You have Pelipper for Wide Guard for Calyrex Shadow, and then you have
every other mon that gets the spread move.
You have the one of my favorite techs. You have the Scarf Coaching Urshifu for Ice Rider, which is really nice, and then you have your standard Raging Bolt set.
I hate having to deal with Scarf Urshifu with coaching. I think that Booster Energy only really makes sense for these Ice Rider teams. In my opinion, I believe it's basically always Life Orb if you want a damage boost, or you can even go items like Safety Goggles, but that's on the Ensign.
Like I have a thing for you. So like, here's the thing with Raging Bolt. I rarely, when I play, this is at least from my past experience. When I play Raging Bolt, I don't usually tend on switching it out. And like when you usually have Volt Switch Raging Bolt, it's usually on AV. So like the reason with this is like you could not switch your Raging Bolt out, and Life Orb and Booster Energy would give you the same amount of damage.
Except one wouldn't chip you.
Yeah, one wouldn't chip you, which is Booster Energy.
I understand that, but like I didn't have the more like a switchy defensive playstyle, and also being able to nearly auto win the Sun matchup because you have Life Orb plus Photosynthesis Thunderbolts.
That is very fair. That's like genuinely infuriating to play against because it just blows up your entire team.
Yeah.
And by the way, in my opinion, if we're going back to the tiers, I think let me organize this. I think this team is more influential than is it more influential or less influential than the Montana Mont team?
I think less influential, definitely, because like Ice Rider cores are still like vastly different. Like there's still like quite a few, like 3 or 4 different mons, versus
100%.
with the CSR teams of now, it's you can run those exact 6 and you're fine.
Exactly. And I saw this. This is kind of a little unrelated, a little bit. I saw this meme on Twitter. It was like, it was the meme template that was like the two splitting paths that lead to one
Oh
end
dear.
result. And it was like, one side it was Calyrex Ice, one side it was Calyrex Shadow, and on the end of the paths it was like. It was Rillaboom, Incineroar, Urshifu, Rapid Strike, Amoonguss, and Raging Bolt, and the caption was the illusion of choice.
That
You have no choice.
that's perfect. Yeah, no, those are the ones you run with the horses. All right, now let's get into the big old grand finale for Regulation G. Point one.
Yeah.
Yes, Luca
This
Cherry Belly.
Before we talk about this, let me just
Yeah, go.
this team is the best team to come out of Regulation G. I don't think that's debatable.
Yeah, no.
This team, the meta changed. This team was very usable in Reg G2, used by players like Victor Medina, Marco Silva, and
It won a VR or two, right?
Yeah.
Didn't it, in Reg G2?
It won, I think 2 or 3 VRs.
Yeah.
It won 2 at most, maybe even just 1.
Which those VRs were both in Regulation G2. This team, you have this was the start of like this whole Miraidon core. You had the Whimsicott to support Miraidon with like Light Screen and Tailwind. You had your Tricker mode with your Iron Hands, your Fergarath. You had your Ogerpon, which was this Ogerpon, really a wild card.
True, yeah. It could be like a offensive threat with like the big Ivy cudgels, like people running focus energy on it now, or like a supportive kind of just follow me bot from Miraidon, so you can launch off Electro Drifts. Yeah, I see it.
And then you have Urshifu, which Urshifu's Urshifu.
Yeah, you know.
But yeah, this team has gone through like some modifications to fit with the meta today, and it's like you maybe switch a Terra type or a couple moves on your team. You never switch any of the Pokemon. These 6 is such a strong core. It's unbelievable. Like we'll get into it. I mean, I think immediately after this one, this team won. This team won Birmingham, pretty much exact same Mons.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the only difference was that he was I think this was William Bussolino, if I'm not wrong. It was Terra Water Hands and Psychic over Psychic Noise in the Fergarath.
Well, Psychic
No,
Noise was play for Worlds here always because Tropicus leftovers left the trade.
But I believe William Bassolino was actually Terra Poison on his Iron Hands.
Well, we'll get into
Huh?
Rebecca, this team was the most common team. This team, people prepped into it. People tried to stop it. It still won Worlds, and if we scroll over, and it definitely, I think it was most used by teams.
Yeah.
Or at least the Arbega core with like the Miraidon, the Whimsicott, the Iron Hands, the Fergarath.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
It also became like a huge gateway to people like coming into VGC because like
Yeah,
in a
true.
bunch of like practice servers I'm in, people would ask like how should I start getting into the game? And then like within like seconds someone would just send the Arubega team and be like, ladder with this for like 200 games, you got this.
Yeah, because like this team has so many game plans, right? It has the Tailwind game plan, the Trick Room game plan is still a very balanced, right? It lets you learn
Good stuff.
basic.
Good stuff game plan.
Yeah, like it lets you learn
It's
basically
a
every
very
element.
fundamentals heavy team. Like
Uh-huh.
if you're good at the fundamentals, then you're good at playing this team.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's also this is very specific, but like this specific handset, Iron Hands would probably go on to be the mon that changed the most with like these Arubega adaptations. But yeah, with these adaptations to the Arubega team, but these 4 moves were specifically good for Worlds because you had a low kick for like your Terrastalized Terrapagos and your Ice Rider, and you had Wild Charge for CSR. This Iron Hands was a toolkit. It was an offensive toolkit.
It indeed was. I think I like to make the jokes that Iron Hands is like the everything matchup patch.
Oh, 100%.
It's like name a restricted thing. This thing has like a bad time into really. Like see,
there's none.
Lunala. Probably Lunala.
That's fair, but Lunala wasn't real yet.
Yeah.
Lunala was not real yet, and we'll get into that later. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say about the Arubega team, which will go down to be the best team made in this format.
Mm-hmm. And then William Bassolino, do we put it in S or F? I can't tell because like F.
I think we put C. We put in C.
Yeah, cause like
I like-
it's just like the same team.
It's copy paste. It's
But-
copy paste.
Yeah.
The reason this team is so like the Arbega team, or like this team, the world's Miraidon, the world's Miraidon team is so high is because this was the first win for Arbega. This is when people realized this team is really good. And if you look, the only differences on this team is you are Stellar Urshifu with you are Stellar Urshifu, and you are Terra Water. Or not Terra Water, Terra Poison Heavy Slam Iron Hands instead of Terra Bug Wild Charge.
Yeah.
And I don't wanna bash on my boy William Basilino here, but like Oliver Eskelin got robbed in that finals if anybody watched.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
for
absolutely.
sure.
Oliver Eskelin is incredible. I love him, and that team is so unique.
Yeah, but yeah, this team. The reason it's I honestly actually let me just I think here
Yeah,
because
cause
like it's not a unique team.
yeah, that's the
And
issue.
Yeah, I really don't have much to say because everything we can say about this team applies to this team because it's very similar.
Yeah, and Luca did it first. Well, technically,
well,
Arbega
technically, yeah.
did.
Technically, Arbega did it first, but like still,
Luca
Luca
won
got
first.
the result first.
Like to be fair, like I had a hot take I was talking about with my friends. Like let's say this team, Yuta Ishigaki's team, if he won Worlds, Yuta Ishigaki's team would be as popular as
Yeah,
Arbega.
that's fair. I mean, like, I feel like Arbega would still be really, really popular,
Mhm.
purely based on the fact that, like, the Yuta Ishigaki team is a very, like, you can look at it and then tell that it's, like, one of those Japanese texts that you usually see in, like, the GC.
Yeah.
Terra-
Because you have,
Terra-
like,
Life Orb
you have the Terrafire Amoonguss, you have the Life Orb Pelipper, which was almost a wild card move. You have the Scarf Lando, which, like, most people running,
Life Orb, yeah.
yeah, Lorb if they had it. And the Iron Valiant, which was like the
Nobody
the
had
jack
seen
of all trades in like to most bad matchups for this team, as it just wide guarded away most of those like pesky spread moves.
this. Yeah, but yeah, wrapping this back to William Basilino's team, it's not very well, it's not unique, definitely not unique. And like what's funny is the next Arubega is in top 16.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And
So-
now.
And
Yeah.
now we have, because there's nothing much else to say.
Yeah.
Now moving on to, in my opinion, the second most influential team for Regulation Set G,
Justin
and Shiliang
Tang.
Tang's team.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, this team gives me like PTSD, Vietnam War flashbacks, just like looking at it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, no,
this
finding-
team is disgusting.
Playing against this team on ladder was a genuine nightmare for me. As like on top of the spreads just being so bulky and high
my-
key
dude.
goaded.
Wait, let me add something here. Like, let's go back to here. This Ogrepon was fast, and it did. This Ogrepon was faster, and it was more offensively set. I have the spread for this Ogrepon.
It's
This is
220
max
impish.
No, it's max defense impish.
Oh,
And like max
it's
HP, right?
it's so silly. Yeah,
It's the bulkiest Ogrepon
it's
in the West.
20 attack. It's
Like-
like genuinely, it's not supposed to be an offensive piece at all. It's supposed to just like sit around on the field and be annoying.
Follow
The only
me, bot.
issue is Terra Fire Ivy Cudgel still does so much damage.
Yeah, no, like
I
this
know,
team. I think this is one of the only teams in Reg G that can function without a restricted.
Oh no,
Yes,
yeah,
for
you
sure.
saw Justin. You saw Justin in his top 4, top 8 sets. Like he would go Urshifu, Amoonguss, Landorus, Ogrepon.
Yeah, or and like when I fought this team, sometimes they'd use like Urshi, Roaring Moon, Lando, Ogerpon, no Amoonguss, no Ice Rider, which is just insane to think about.
And like this the thing about like one of my favorite things about this team, like, is the fact that like these 6 mons besides Roaring, these 5 mons are very common. You'd see them on a lot of teams, but like there's so many different different things on these mons. Like Mystic Urshifu, I don't want to sound wrong, but I don't think people started using Mystic Urshifu in Reg G
Yeah.
until this team.
It wasn't really that common.
It wasn't that common, but people were definitely on it. I will say that.
Yeah.
And one quick thing about this, how bulky this Ogrepon is. This Ogrepon lived Ivy Cudgel from Rock Pond.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's easy
wow.
to live that. It's easy to live that purely just because it's such a problem for this team, like Rock Pond in general. Like
It
looking at the
is.
matchup spread,
Rock Pond is an
Koraidon is
issue.
meant to be like a genuinely bad matchup, but Ogre Pond turns it into like a fairly neutral, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah. And this Roaring Moon, nobody had seen Roaring Moon since Reg D.
And then like
I
from Basilino's team to this, like, or not Basilino, Escalin's team. There we go.
Escalin's team to this, yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about Escalin's team. My bad. Yeah, I feel like the synergy with Terra Flying, Photosynthesis, and Acrobatics is out of this world because you get fast Tailwind and this Terra Fairy Ice Rider. Terra Fairy Ice Rider started forcing Zamazentas to run Behemoth Bash.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It became totally meta after this.
I actually, I took advantage of that a little bit. I started using Goldango, Koraidon Goldango, when this popped up.
That's crazy. That's so good into this, no?
No, it kind of is.
It blew through this comp.
Koraidon Goldango is a medicine to this, yeah.
And then this.
Also, I'm pretty sure this is where like Terra Water Landers started gaining like credibility.
I was about to say.
I was about to say that. This is now this was the Cannon Landorus set. This exact set. This resisting surging strikes is so important, and then the Amoonguss, which would usually run Rocky Helmet or maybe Citrus,
was cloaked so that I could get off a free spore or like a pollen puff on like one of those pivotal turns.
Yeah, like say you're in Trick Room and stuff like that, and like they can't stop you from sporing.
And I'm sure you guys obviously know, but like this team got first, second, I think. Where is it? Where's Nicholas? Where's good old Nicholas Donnelly? Here. Like 19th, and then somebody in day 2. I don't want to scroll that far down, but yeah, you had 3 teams in top cut, 4 teams in day 2, 2 teams in finals.
Yeah, it's
which
insane.
Is insane. I think, which I'd give this team an argument for the second S tier, and maybe probably the only
other one. Yeah, I definitely see it. Like the meta was never the same after Tangs.
No, like you had to like. This is honestly this is kind of a. No, not kind of a. This is where like Miraidon players had to start had to adapt, and this team I feel like is one of the reasons why Joseph Ugarte's Miraidon Volcarona Grimmsnarl team is so good because it has such a good matchup into
True, yeah, versus like the Arubega kind of doesn't.
Team. Yeah, which the Arubega does not. Yeah, so yeah, this team super influential. The second S tier. If you guys want to, do you guys want to add anything?
I don't have much else to add. Though
next up we have. Oh wait. Oh what?
I do want to say one thing. This team was also kind of prevalent in both the San Antonio and I believe the Birmingham seniors, which is incredibly funny because
because
Justin Tang coached. I think it's Louis, right?
No? Louis F and Kevin Hahn. Yeah.
Yeah. Louis won Birmingham with this team. Yeah, this team won Birmingham in seniors. Nobody picked up on seniors teams. How dare you guys?
Yeah, they could have had the meta call if they had just looked.
They could have had the meta call. But next up we have I don't think this is an argument. The weirdest team on this list.
Indeed.
Made by the GOAT himself.
Wolfie Glick. Yep.
Okay, I have maybe a controversial opinion on this team. If you could go back to the tier list, I feel like this team either deserves a high B tier or a low A tier.
It's high B. Okay. The thing is, I might go on a tangent here, but like we've been rating this based off of how good these teams are and how influential these teams have been on the meta. This team would have never been influential on the meta ever because I was talking with some friends
if Wolf wasn't running it.
Yeah, exactly. This team wouldn't be good if Wolf wasn't running this. I call it Wolfie, like one of the Wolfie teams. Like Wolf is the only person who's gonna run this, so it'll only be good with Wolfie. So there's no reason, and like this team wasn't picked up by anybody else because it's something only Wolf can run. Like I guarantee you, people have tried Parastrap, and they have, and it's something only Wolf can run. Like
I feel like sorry for interrupting, but I feel like this would be like a low to mid A tier if this wasn't coming off the back of his Toronto regional win with like Rain Parastrap, because this would be new from him. You know, he'd be like exploding back into the scene again. Like let's say this was a Reg H tier list, Wolf's team would be like way up there.
Oh, Wolf's team might be high A.
Because it
in
was
Reg G.
so innovative. It was so innovative, and other people did use it online to some success.
And like
Like,
one thing
yeah.
about yeah, now I wanna get into this team because this team there's a lot more than like what meets the eye. You have the Life Orb Koraidon, which had never been seen before up until now. And it had close combat, which again had never been seen before until now. And like Wolf himself was talking about this in the interview. Koraidon really enabled Scream Tail and Fluttermane, activating like photosynthesis and stuff, and it also enabled Incineroar with Sun Vuce's Flare Blitz. And this team in general, like your goal was to try and sweep with Koraidon, get the first 2 mons out of the way with Koraidon, go into Perish, they can't switch out, and like let the 3 turns stall and win the game.
And that is a very effective and sound game plan, right? The Koraidon and Fluttermane just so oppressive into just basically everything. Like even
and
like
then
as
get
a lead.
Screamtail, Gothitail in the back, and then they're just trapped and struggling for the rest of the game after they get encored into protected and disabled after that.
Right, and the Scream Tail, which you hadn't seen on Koraidon tapes, you had seen it. Let me reload the page because I'm filtering by Americans. You had seen it on Francesco Piero's team with the Terapagos, but you'd never seen it anywhere else outside of this team, or outside of the Terapagos team.
Yeah, like it truly did give that Scream Tail an alternate use case. No attacks
Yeah,
as well, which is
100%.
something I find very interesting. It makes sense, but like, which wow.
I don't. Yeah, I
That's
don't
why
think
you have Terra Dark, because usually
Yeah,
this thing
for
is gonna be
Prankster
moving
Uh-huh.
like first before like it's gonna get taunted. So there's and on this team specifically, you and it's Wolf, so he refuses to build a
And it's
team without
Wolf.
protects.
Which yeah,
Like-
you have the protect on the Incineroar.
Which is like genuinely crazy. I cringe every time I see it protect.
Yeah, I know, like because it just feels wrong. Like Incineroar
Yeah.
should not be protecting.
But
But yeah, this team, I'd say it's one of the most innovative teams we've seen in Reg G.
yeah, it's
because, like,
definitely innovative, but it's not really like that all that altering towards the metagame.
It's not. Yeah, it's not Arubega alternating. It's not altering to the meta. It's an interesting team.
It's because no one else could run it. It's like, oh well, hope I don't pair into one person out of this 1,400 person
Exactly.
tournament.
Yeah.
Like, here's like, it's like I don't know how to compare this. It's like somebody bowling, you know, or like somebody
Yeah.
playing basketball, you know, like they play basketball and the only way they can shoot the ball is by doing the granny shot, and every time they shoot it granny shot they make it. Nobody else can shoot it granny shot except for Wolf Glick, number
Number 1 granny shotter, yes.
number 1 granny shotter, yeah. But yeah, you have with the Parastrap core, you have the Gothitail, you have the Mungus, and then you have the Screamtail and the Fluttermane.
Yeah.
All 4 of these can be used in all of these could be used in the Parastrap core. The only mon that seems kind of outside of the Parastrap core is the Koraidon, because this team has 2 modes. You have the Fluttermane, Koraidon, Amoonguss, Incineroar mode, which is what he used to win the finals, and then you have the Koraidon Incineroar, or the Koraidon Incineroar / Fluttermane, Screamtail, Gothitail type core they'd bring if you want to if you want to make things perish with a
Ooh.
nasty song.
Indeed.
But yeah, this team I'd say high B tier, because it's like we've said, it's not, people didn't start immediately using it like Arubega or the Tang team. It's just a team that won, that's very innovative and very good.
Yeah.
But only for Wolf. Like, yeah. Next up we have, wait, I think I misordered this. My goat. Wait, I didn't pull up. Wait, did I not pull up Marita? Wait, I don't think we have-
Merida?
Wait, do we have? I don't think I pulled up Marita. No.
Daniel
Wait,
Nunez.
no.
Yeah, Daniel Nunez winning with wasn't it the
Miraidon Dozo.
Here, I got
Yeah.
it. It was Maradon, Tatsugiri,
This
Dango.
team, bro.
This makes me cringe. Why? Okay, this team might get F.
Who let him get away with Golden Go?
Who let him
Exactly.
go? No, who let him get away with AV Maridon and Specs Golden Go?
Yeah, okay, first up, before we talk about this guy, we first gotta talk about where this team first made its appearance. Top 8 at Worlds, Chenyue Zhang. Holy, first showing for, Goldango showed up out of nowhere in Reg G.
Yeah, no, like
No,
this
there
Pokemon
was
should
no
be
reason for
bad.
it to be there.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like I feel like if you took Dragonite and Dondozo out of the I feel like he swapped the items. Like Chiyu should be Choice Scarf, Tatsugiri should be Focus Sash. I don't know about AV Goldango, but like
Miraidon should be Specs.
Miraidon
It
should be
could
Specs.
work, and I could honestly see the vision for that.
Yeah.
But okay, I'm gonna be honest though, it would not be doing enough damage.
Okay,
like,
you know what I
AV.
think is a hilarious tech is like the Scarf Soak and then like the Volt Switch Miraidon and stuff like that. That is
Oh my
The
gosh.
Scarf Soak is nuts.
Apparently that won him games, like
Yeah.
or sorry, like it won him sets, like on
that
its
makes
own.
sense. Like,
Talk about this because it didn't win the regional. Casual Chestnut appeared.
love that.
But yeah,
And then we have like the start of like the brain rot, like hyper offensive Entei-Zama teams.
yeah. This by the way, yeah.
Finals.
This was now. Yeah. Wait, Marita was before EYC, but it's fine.
Yeah.
So this team, I don't know if it gets C
F.
or
F.
no offense.
Okay,
no offense. They won a
we
regional.
were grading on how much they've like changed the meta and how good they were. It
Nobody
might have been
picked
good
that
for,
up.
like
Nobody cares.
nobody
Nobody
cared.
cared.
It was
We
like,
did not
oh,
care.
cool, yeah. Like Goldango won something epic.
Next up, we have
And
Vancouver. with-
String Cheese Man won a regional.
Personally, I think my favorite, one of my favorite teams that came out of this regulation,
Oh yeah.
Lunala.
Well, okay.
I was on Lunala before you, Bezod. I was on Lunala before you.
Actually, I have a fun little story to tell about this and this guy in this team. I know Bezod. He is in the NorCal community with me. I fought him a couple times on a Limitless tournament, and it was back when he was Terra Waterlanders, and that's how I made this set close. I still lost, but I won game 2 based off of his Terra Waterlanders.
Changes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because this is very close to Vancouver. I think, like, the Terra Poison. Because also, if you look at his, like, top 4 set, Terra Poison was a very big pressure tool right there and stuff. But, like, I kind of witnessed the building process for a lot of this team structure.
Like, oh yeah. Keep going. Yeah, my thing is like the funny thing is I was not going to Vancouver. I thought it was like due to some complications I did not go to Atlanta. I was on Lunala. I was on the Lunala train until I saw this win Vancouver. The team I built was pretty similar. It was similar, but like it was like Roaring Moon. I had Roaring Moon, but it was like I think it was Dark Fu, and then like Ursaluna was somewhere. It was weird, but like I saw the vision with Lunala, and like you have your size spam mode, you have your Tailwind mode, like and drawing back to the Justin Tang team, 4 out of the 6 mons are the same.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. It's like he successfully rode the wave, like the current meta call.
It's just
Mhm.
that
It was
that
like-
sporting cast is so flexible, you know.
It is, definitely.
Exactly, and they have good synergy with like, let's be honest, most everything
Mhm.
that like
yeah.
you throw with
Oh
it.
yeah, 100%. And this like and like this team is so also fun fact, Bezod did not drop a game I think he didn't drop a game
Day 2.
Swiss.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
was
day 2.
wild. Like
Yeah,
hearing the community cheer him on for that.
And you have interesting tech, Luring Voice and Didi, which I don't think.
No,
Never seen.
Indeed
Forever.
started running a Lurin voice like a fair bit
It was good
after.
for, I'm pretty sure for like Pagos and to just like punish setup in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then,
CSR as well.
but like
It'd be slower for than most, like and they'd like your opponent would over predict the nasty plot predicting like a double protect or like something of
Indeed,
the
he
sort.
doesn't
like, a
know
really
protect.
passive play.
But yeah,
Oops.
passive play.
Oh,
Passive plays in general,
Like
I get
a
it.
really passive play, try to punish it, get a luring voice, and then get confusion hacks outplayed.
confusion hacks. But yeah, this Lunala, what people think about Lunala now, which because we're currently about to be in Regulation I, Lunala is a wide guard bot in Regulation I, and this Lunala does not have wide guard. It's a very offensive tool
Hmm.
with Meteor Beam and if you get Meteor Beam off, and then you can start spamming Helping Hand Expanding Force. you
Yeah,
get-
that
so much
2.2 times
value.
boost in total is doing obscene damage.
especially from Lunala, which nobody really thought of. This team, I'll say, in my opinion, it's in A tier, and it's tier. It's below. It's below
Okay,
the tier.
okay, hold on. I actually have an argument. Objection. I feel like this team should also be in B tier. Like, it didn't fully redefine the meta. It was just
Yeah.
kind of there. And also, let's be honest, Vancouver is not like
Nobody
like,
cares.
like it's not the most high caliber of events. Like, I'm sure both of you can agree with me on that.
Yeah, I
No, it's not.
can.
Look at the. So like for the wait. So I'll show you real quick. The turnout for Vancouver this is about 400 people. This is about 400 people. The
Like, it's
turnout
one
for
of the
like
smallest
Atlanta.
regionals. You have like
Turnout for like
many of the
Atlanta.
big players were not
800
playing.
people.
Yeah, nearly. Yeah, and not as many
Many
like of the insane players were going to
Exactly. Like
Vancouver.
Yeah, and the meta was just weird.
But this
Like,
is
the
if
meta
you were
was
watching
it
the
was in an
games,
in-between
Mhm.
state. Yeah, it was in an in-between place.
like, you had, like, Giovanni Shishke's team, which was, like, probably a little more standard. Like, it's closer to the Luca Paz stuff. And then you look at, like, some of the teams that day 2'd, I'm pretty sure Pikachu day 2'd this, or that
That
was,
was Atlanta. I'll show you that. I'll show that. But like
That's fun.
Pikachu did day 2 Atlanta. But yeah, this team, I'd argue it's B tier, but like it's high B tier because this is the team that made people start to wanna run Lunala.
Hmm. And like
like,
getting
this is where
second
Eric Rio
at
got from.
also it getting second at like Stockholm regionals and stuff like that. That was
Lunala got stuck in
like
Stockholm too,
like
which-
it started that the whole like the entire Lunala hype train was based off of
Like the
this.
Lunala Screamtail stuff,
Yeah.
that's also a really annoying team to play against.
Yeah. Wait. I thought that was Riley Factory. No, it's not. But yeah. So fun fact, in back-to-back regional, I'm pretty sure it's back-to-back regionals. In back-to-back regionals, finals was Lunala versus Hard Trick Room at
Lunala versus Hard Tricker Mice
Lunala
Rider.
won. And then in Stockholm, we got this team
Yep.
from Michael Kellish. This
Except
is
the roles were switched because Hard TR came out on top this event.
Yeah.
yeah.
This
This team. Oh wait, you can go ahead. So.
I think it's a very interesting take on a Hard Trick Room. The Golgo's Raging Bull, I like it. It's very nice. Like kind of like more like a Sunroom type vibe. Smeargle is something that I didn't expect to see on any of the Hard Trick Room teams. Also, if you look at the Calyrex, it's close combat, not the almost
It's
ever
not,
present high horsepower.
Yes.
This was to punish like the rise of Pagos players in Europe because it was so ever present.
Mhm.
Oh no,
And
yeah.
And like it does more damage to Incin, which is the only reason why I would like see you use. Those
Also
combos.
You can
Zama.
also do it for you can also use it for Zama if you don't want to miss, or you could use it for I'm blanking. No, I'm blanking.
Also, I'm pretty sure Kelsh also isn't like very in favor of like unreliable moves.
No, he's not in favor of unreliable moves, but he has Draco on his Raging Bolt, so like I don't think it's
And like
that
Heat
big
Wave
Yeah,
Torkoal and
that's
stuff.
But yeah, one back-to-back Stockholm regionals.
Can we also talk about Ironhead Urshifu?
I'll talk about that in a second, but I have a take. I don't know, like I assume you guys will agree with me on this, but this, not gonna lie, looks like a team I'd see from a junior.
That's fair. That's
Like,
very fair.
You have your Specs Terrifier Eruption Torkoal. You have
Didn't that get second at UIC?
It was a similar team. Let me see. I think it was very similar. It was very similar, but it had Iron Crown for a fast mode, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
It's Hard Trick Room, but yeah, you have your this one wasn't even Terrifier. But yeah, it's definitely something I could see like on a younger player. But which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but like yeah, in the juniors meta it is relatively all Hard Trick Room. But yeah, this team is because like in Masters, I don't think we'd seen like a successful Hard Trick Room before the team that got second at Vancouver in a long.
Since Worlds, I don't think.
Yeah, since
Yeah.
Diego Ferreira at Worlds with who got fifth with Hard Trick Room.
Well, I think in Reg H there might have been like one or two.
Oh yeah, well
well,
in Reg H, this isn't Reg H, this is Regulation G, the best regulation since Regulation. I don't know.
I beg to differ.
yeah, I think Reg H was heat.
This Reg H was nice, but yeah this Smeargle I didn't know Smeargle was bulky like that. He lived Smeargle clutch moment, lived grassy glide from Rillaboom from 79 HP,
Oh wow.
lived on 7 HP.
Yeah, I
really
recall
good.
this Pokemon
Yeah.
was actually like really slow and bulky for a Smeargle, so that you get those the spores under Trick Room.
Yeah, but yeah, my thing about this like the last turn of this battle was it was Eric Rios has not Terra like I know this is very important because like this is how this hard Trick Room team worked. It was Eric Rios with Rillaboom and Ogerpon Cornerstone left, and he has not Terra'd yet versus Michael Kelsch, Ice Rider, Terrifier Ice Rider, Smeargle, and Torkoal in the back. And this Smeargle lives Grassy Glide from 79 HP to redirect Terra Rock Ivy Cudgel into the Smeargle, which secured him the win.
Indeed.
Did he put bulk on the Smeargle? Did he put bulk on the Sash Smeargle?
He had to
Did
have.
he do it? Wait, yeah, actually,
I
there's
don't-
no you can't not.
There's no
because
reason
max
not
speed.
to. Like you're not attacking. You probably want to
Attack for the fake out. Max
but-
attack fake out. But yeah, Ironhead Urshifu on choice band sets. In my opinion, if I was choice band Urshifu Dark, I would run Poison Jab. That's just me.
That makes sense.
I feel like Ironhead did like fulfill a certain niche because this team almost
you hit Terra Fairy stuff. You
yeah.
hit Miraidon, but you don't have Tailwind. Feel bad for Michael Kelsch having to reset to get a min speed Urshifu.
Yeah, but like,
Oh yeah, for sure.
Banded Urshi Trick Room is something like, cause like, isn't Urshi usually like, supposed to fulfill the role of like that fast mon, so like you have like a presence
Yeah.
outside of
Well,
Trick Room?
Urshi is. But I think he may have been banded Urshi like to use in Trick Room. I don't know.
He
I don't know.
was.
But yeah,
Yeah,
Urshi.
He's like that Urshi's slow.
Yeah. Yeah. This team is nice. It's your standard hard Trick Room, and we're getting to the end of Reg G, so like no teams really shifted the meta.
Mhm.
Like the meta was set. There was no. Yeah, the meta was set, and it This team I'd say is a. I don't know. Is it above? It's not above Bezot's.
I don't think it's above
above Bezot
Bezot or Wolf. I think it's above Michael Kelsch's first team.
Michael Kelsch 1 is better than, or Michael Kelsch 2 is better than Michael Kelsch 1. Interesting.
Indeed.
So yeah, now we are down to three left, which all of these happened in the last like month.
Yeah.
So we have hard Trick Room again with
Whoa!
Diego Ferreira, the king of Trick Room.
I love this team. It's so cool.
It is.
It's
It
a
is extremely unique.
Fire Weather Ball, Terragrass, Solar Beam, Torkoal, Imprison Ice Rider. Can we talk about Ogerpon Teal Mask?
Yeah.
Teal
No.
Mask, Ogerpon,
Tealpon.
Ursaluna in general.
Tealpon with Woodhammer though. Also. You gotta look at
Not
that.
even like the Bullet Seed stuff that Shiliang was on for like Worlds. No, it's just
It's just
there.
standard. No Cudgel, by the way.
that's another like really interesting pick.
You have no Cudgel, and then you have your hard Trick Room. You have your hard Trick Room support. You have your hard Trick Room staples from
Staples.
DD Torkoal and Raging Bolt, which honestly I think I can see Raging Bolt on every hard Trick Room team.
I think it's actually like a very underrated mon in that type of structure.
It does what the rest of the core can in those situations.
This was his Worlds team, and then this was the team he won Brisbane with.
Very similar comps.
Similar but different, yeah.
Yeah.
AV Torkoal is nuts, by the way. It's just a slate. AV, wait,
It's still like I see the vision because it did enough damage like on its own. Like Sun Eruption is doing
But
like
yeah, this is when people my bad. But yeah, Sun Eruption is doing damage. But yeah, this is when people realized Hard Trick Room is real and like very real.
Yeah. It took long
But yeah,
enough.
this team, you have like this seems relatively standard for Hard Trick Room. You have Heal Pulse and DD4. I assume for a bunch of other things, but it does help with the Torkoal if you click you Heal Pulse Eruption.
But also
Heal Pulse
to
Intern, and
keep
Eruption
like
Ice.
keep your Ursaluna from like dying to burn chip and things like that. Also, because like
Yeah,
your Ice
definitely
Rider, the whole thing is that, like it's so bulky. Being able to like heal it up, like constantly replenishing that HP.
Yeah, 100%. I wish we got to see this team on stream, but unfortunately, Brisbane was not streamed. But yeah, this team, I feel like this team, like for the last little bit of Reg G of what people had left, I feel like this team made people realize Hard Trick Room is definitely.
Yeah, and
Definitely.
also like it has a ton of cool picks. Like
It really did.
I was super surprised. It was like it seemed like a really fun team to play. I would put it in like high B tier, low A tier.
I think it goes lowest A tier because like I
It was a little more influential. That's.
I think
a
it brought
little
back. I think it
debatable.
brought back the. I know Michael Kelch won with Hard Trick Room, but like I feel like this team brought back the archetype fully.
Yeah. Like in terms of just like usability for like
It
the
also
newer
just
players.
showed like it
Yeah,
showed the
yeah, yeah.
flexibility in Hard Trick Room because you have all these like cool different
Exactly.
options.
Yeah, so I think it goes low A tier because it didn't shift the meta as much as Rajan Ball did.
Yeah, cause I also
Max
I also
speed
think
and freaking
that, like low-key it kind of just revolutionized the playstyle even in like future meta games. Like we will have to see it come into fruition in Reg I, but I do genuinely believe that like the hard trick and playstyle is definitely vastly different
back,
now.
Yeah. And then we have 2 events left, which both of this one happened sooner, so we're gonna go with okay, I know I've said this a lot, but I love this team so much. We have Daniel Yu's Brute Bonnet. Interesting stuff with we had a similar thing of the Tang team where you had a mirror match, exact EVs, exact Terra types, exact items, exact moves, exact Pokemon.
What a
in the
team
finals.
this
This
is.
team, this team is honestly, this team has so much synergy. You have
If
stop
I'm
the
not
priority.
wrong, even if it does have synergy, isn't it kind of just playing matchup roulette high key?
No, I wouldn't say so. In my opinion, I wouldn't say so because Daniel beat this matchup in top 4 to advance, and this matchup is abysmal for Koraidon.
Yeah, no, like him being able to do that just proves to the extent of like how good Daniel is as a player as well.
This
Fair.
Daniel, relatively unknown player. Like I got DMs from like some of my newer VGC friends, and I'm like, who? And they say, who the heck is on stream? Like I think this is the first time we've seen a finals with like 2 relatively unknown players. Because
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard of Joey. And then Daniel, his best accomplishment is 26th at Worlds here. No, it was 28th.
Right
here.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, he's
And,
definitely
like,
good.
this team. Now, like to go into to detail with this team, you have your Terra Stellar Fluttermane, which it's weird. It's very weird. You have your Terra Stellar Fluttermane to do extra damage. You have your standard Indeedee, which I believe won 4 straight events.
It did actually. Yeah, Vancouver, Brisbane,
Stockholm,
Atlanta. Yeah.
Stockholm, and wait, did it win? No, it's freaking Riley Factor. Of course it didn't. But yeah. You have your Chi-Yu Fluttermane to boost the damage. You have Indeedee Iron Crown to do your size spam stuff. You have Koraidon, which this is the standard Koraidon set, and it's a very standard Koraidon set. You do a bunch of damage. You can get faster with Flame Charge, and then you have Brute Bonnet, which is Brute Bonnet like Brute Bonnet is Amoonguss, but like physically bulky. Or physically, it's physical.
It has like higher defensive stats, right? And like higher HP.
Yeah, I believe so.
But it just has like worse type matchups.
Why I think this is so underrated. You got Sucker Punch for CSR. Yeah, you got Sucker Punch for Kali Shadow, and it was very underrated because it won Daniel a game in top 4 against Yuki, and like when I looked at this, I was like, isn't this anti-synergetic? You have Indeedee with Psychic Turn, and then you have Sucker Punch for Bonnet, and the way Daniel played it was so well that he would only bring 1 to 2, or he would only bring 1 of his support mons usually in the game. So he would stick to 1 mode, and he wouldn't really
Deviate
fluctuate. Yeah, deviate from it. That's the word.
Yeah, because I definitely see that because like you have like the sun kind of hyper offensive mode where you're being like Koraidon, Brute Bonnet, Flutter, Chi-Yu, and then you have more of like the size spam mode where you're being like Koraidon, Chi-Yu, Iron Crown, and DD, stuff like that.
Yeah, and,
like it has very set game plans where you don't like. They probably knew this going into the tournament. Like it's a very straightforward team to play once you like get the flow of it.
7 Chinese players is crazy. But yeah, you had this team super good. I don't think it's matchup roulette. Like if I didn't look at this, but let's see, what did he lose to? He lost to Koraidon Mirror, which he lost to Koraidon Mirror. He lost to, I don't remember what else.
Leonard Kraft, number 10th.
The Wobblefett? He lost to the Wobblefett?
Yeah.
Oh, this is Lunala. Yeah, I see this team has a pretty bad Lunala matchup because this is Rain Dance Torn.
Indeed,
and
yeah.
I've done testing with Koraidon teams. Rain Dance Torn is Kryptonite.
Absolutely.
Rain Dance Torn is just instantly
even like I think Rain Dance is going to see a lot of usage in Reg I because
100%.
Koraidon is everywhere and
Koraidon Lunala.
Koraidon
Boom.
Lunala, I played in a Limitless tour yesterday, and like the 4 rounds that I played, I only played Koraidon Lunala.
Like Koraidon Lunala, you have your Koraidon Lunala with your Ursaluna, and you have your like more hyper offensive core with your Koraidon CSR, and like, and on all of those teams you do have your you do have the Chiyu, the Flutter Mane. I'm pretty sure, yeah, they did have the Flutter Mane on the Trick Room mode with the Lunala one, and like with Koraidon, you have to have your supporting core, I'd say, with Koraidon, because like it's kind of the opposite of CSR, where CSR, if you play it well enough, you can slap anything next to CSR and it'll work. But like with Koraidon, I feel like it has to be, to perform excellent, unless your name is Wolf Glick, you have to slot these types of mons next to it.
yeah. I think Koraidon Side Spam is genuinely the way that it's, like the meta is gonna start shifting.
And especially even in Reg I, like I can see teams like, let's drop this Iron Crown, because it's like you could drop this Iron Crown for like Lunala or CSR, or well, Lunala or CSR, but to give yourself a size spam restricted, and I can see it being super good. And I can see the reason I can see myself placing, or I can see placing this in A tier, or even like I can see this placing this high A tier, because he could have impact going into a different regulation.
Indeed, yeah, cause like this paired with like Wolfie's team showing that like Life of Koraidon is a real thing, it's definitely going to shake up the Reg I meta, especially with all of the good things Lunala has been doing recently.
It goes here.
I'd say so.
Yeah, because it's definitely gonna shake. I think it's gonna shake up the meta of a different format. But yeah, now finally, this is Riley Factura's team. Yeah, it's team.
It's a team. I don't know what else to say.
I mean, he's been running it all format, but like true. Oh, Dragon Pulse Maridon. Wow.
It's a nightmare for the mirror, like
this
from
team
Maridon
is,
mirror.
I don't like it. I don't like it. It's just like it's so off. But this team is so off-putting. It's unbelievable.
14-0 is like genuinely crazy.
He beat Tinkaton in the finals.
Okay, Carson Khan for giggle shitting like that is like genuinely wild, and going 12-2 with it
with Tinkaton and making finals. But yeah, this team, he's run it all format. No moves can miss. It's your standard. He's like, move. I don't like moves missing. If moves miss, I get mad. So he just does this. This team. I don't get how you do good with this team. I really don't. This like
I think it's just Riley's
really
experience with it, because he's been using it for just like the entire format. He's been putting all of his blood, sweat, and tears into this team to finally win something at the very end.
Terra Ghost Maridon, what is this? What is
It's actually pretty smart. I like it to dodge fake out. I've used it, but I've used this comp before.
Yeah, I think I can't really. This is one of the teams I can't really talk about because I have no experience with it. Because I just get appalled whenever like I try a new team and like I'd get suggested this. No. Just in my opinion, just no. Like
Yeah.
I don't like this team. It obviously worked for Riley, but like I can't see anyone but Riley. It's kind of Wolf syndrome.
Yeah.
Where like I can only see Riley doing well with this.
I mean, I don't like it either, and also I think it definitely can go in F because it's been around for as long as it has, and like no one else has picked it up.
Yeah, he's had to farm like Latin American regionals to finally win one.
Farm the Latin American regionals to win with this team.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
he's been to like all 4 that have happened in Reg G.
But yeah, I think this is our. Are there any shifts that should happen now that we've looked at the entire tier list?
I'm pretty content.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't know.
It's still
I'm
vastly.
surprised we had nothing in C tier. There's a very
True.
There's no teams that are just mid. Like
there's a very split deviation from.
I can see this team being C tier.
I could.
I can see this team being C tier because it's not.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Put her there.
Nobody. I can see it. Nobody. I can see like how this shifted Zama balance and stuff, but like, I don't see how Galarian Moltres is like the way.
Neither do I,
Yeah.
honestly. What has it done exactly again?
Nothing. Nothing. Besides this, nothing.
Thank you for
It won
that.
Players Cup 2 with Wolf. Players Cup 2 and Sword and Shield.
Ooh.
Ooh, Sword and Shield. Ooh. But yeah.
Ooh, Zacian La La Land. Ooh.
Oh wait, yeah. Speaking of Zacian, it didn't win a single event in Scarlet and Violet.
Oh, dear, poor station.
Like I mean, it's Zacian, but like.
I
Zacian,
think
you're.
Zacian's way better in
Go
Reg
ahead.
I. That's what I'm gonna say.
100%.
Oh,
Swordfish.
100%. I love
Swordfish
Zacian
makes
like
my
that.
blood boil, man. But yeah, I think this is the final tier list. This is every NA, EU, and well, technically Mexico is EU, so or NA, not EU. Technically NA, so it's fine.
Well, not really actually. Pokemon officially puts it as Latin, yeah.
Well,
But-
here's the thing, while I was trying to make this tier list, I didn't want to include special events because I wasn't familiar, we weren't familiar with teams for cause I didn't study any special event teams. I'd study the Tang team or Aribega or Patrick Connor's team, you know.
True, yeah, because
But,
like
these are the teams that you can go.
the honorable mentions are just like the special event teams.
The honorable mentions: Mienshao, CSR. Yeah.
Yeah.
Men shall see.
Yeah, one belong. Yeah. But yeah, this is the
Baloney.
final tier list, and I gotta add that Regulation G, I could say, is probably one of the best formats I've played.
I hate you, and I don't like that opinion. I played a lot of G, so it's grown on me. But like
That's
I
exactly my
yeah.
stance. on
like
it.
I hated it going into it because I didn't play Reg G1. And when I went to Reg G2, I was dreading it. As I played it more and more, like I started to like it more. Like, not as in like
liked it
I had
because
fun.
it's
I had fun, but more like I was comfortable with it now.
Yeah, exactly. I
Reg
liked it because
G
I had
was the
experience.
first format for me where I started going undefeated at locals. That was like the big
Look,
break for me.
Rashab.
Because I would continually go negative, then immediately after Reg G2 starts in like February, I go like 3-0, 3-0, 4-1, X and 1 to
Good
undefeated.
job,
those
man.
Yeah.
those
but-
kind of records in
but-
Reg G, because I just pick up Miraidon and it start electro drifting all
Oh
over
yeah,
it.
speaking of, I was gonna talk about this. If we tally this up, we have Miraidon here, Miraidon there, Miraidon here, Miraidon there. I think it's 5 Miraidons,
Oh wow.
and then 2, 3, 4.
You have 3 CIRs, I think, right?
4.
Yeah, 3 4, and then Lunala and
See, that's funny
Lunala
because
and
when I was
Groudon.
counting the CIRs, I didn't count the Tang team because
Summer.
the core itself is more memorable.
Kind of is.
exactly.
So yeah, Groudon, Kyogre, Zacian,
Well-
Terapagos, none of them got any Reg G
Well,
wins.
Terapagos popped off way more than I thought it
well,
would. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I gotta add something. Terapagos, we did not count it. Why is there? Okay. This was won by Terapagos.
Oh, interesting.
Terapagos, my goat.
Magoda was won by Terapagos, and I'm pretty sure it's San Juan in some place. Is it Rio de Janeiro? This one?
No, San Juan was won by Kyogre, I think.
Yeah. So where's?
Oh, that's right. That's right. San Juan was won by Kyogre.
San
Okay.
Juan was won by
Juan
Kyogre.
Salerno was the CIR stuff. Like people thought it was like dead, and then it wasn't.
Yeah, but like this Reg G, really really establish what restricteds were good and what restricteds were not. Like going into this Reg G, everybody was about Arubega, everybody was about Ice Rider, you know. But like
Yeah.
there's like Koraidon had not won an event until Reg G2. I'm pretty sure. I think he won one special in Reg G1. But, like, yeah,
Maybe
he
I
really-
don't know, but
Maybe that's government. That's classified information. But yeah, it really established like what are the clear-cut restricteds. And honestly, I'm prepping for Milwaukee Regionals, which is in a week from recording this. And like, I used Reg G. I don't know if this obviously isn't normal, but like I used Reg G like statistics to see what's a good spot to start building. Like,
Yeah,
that's
that's fair.
understandable
Like,
for a
A
regionals
lot of
early
the
in Milwaukee.
a lot of the early Reg G teams were just like Reg G cores, but like slap on Zamazenta over Urshifu. Now you have a real team.
Yeah, I
that's exactly what it was. Yeah.
one of my favorite things that I think will always be good is you take Arubega minus Urshi plus the other restricted.
Minus Urshi plus.
That's how Seawolf Mike made his like top 4 VR team, and it made one of maybe controversial takes, one of the most brain dead teams of the format.
I
But
see it.
yeah,
I
this is
hate playing that shit on ladder, bro.
Reg G final. This is the last tier list, and the winner of Seville, it's B tier. I don't care what it is. It's B tier. It could be something instrumental. Nobody's ever seen.
Watch, it's about to be
B tier.
Kiram White.
Kiram
Stop.
White. Now watch, it's about to be Cosmog. Cosmog for human.
That'd be hilarious.
Cosmog,
That would crack me up.
plus the Tangang core.
Cosmog Tangang Core.
I can almost see it.
Sad thing is, it doesn't sound like something I could see being out of the question. But
Yeah.
this is the final tier list for the regulation G.
Mhm.
Yeah, we had a bunch of great tournaments. We had a bunch of great moments. Do you want to see an Incineroar disappear? The first finals the modern finals mirror match in VGC history, and you had so many other moments like that. Like Reg G, I feel like if you could ask me right now, what format encompasses Scarlet and Violet VGC, I'd say Reg G.
Indeed. Yeah. And with that beautiful closing statement, thank you all so much for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe for more VGC content, and comment down below if you like this idea or if you like these guests. I think Francesco and Rashab are wonderful to have on the show. Thank you for both joining me today.
No problem, man. I always love the excuse to yap about Pokemon for an hour.
That's true.
I love talking about Miraidon.
Talking about Miraidon.
Indeed. And
But yeah.
with all of that being said, thank you so much. Goodbye and good night.